Ew, nasty. That's what happens when you ride in the rain. So I went for a ride last weekend and got caught out in a rainstorm. It wasn't even supposed to rain. It was like a 15% chance or something, but it rained and the bike got just turned into a disaster. Super dirty. All kinds of garbage everywhere. Like this stuff, I don't even know what that is. I don't know how that got there. A lot on the bottom. Another road grime. Bunch of sandy junk in there. Look underneath there. A lot. I don't know how that got there. A bunch of road debris. Look at all this nonsense. Sand, junk. And this is the problem here, this sandy stuff. I mean, water's one thing, but when you get sand and water in your bearings and whatnot, especially in the chain, it just acts like sandpaper and just chews it up. So I mean, you can hear it. Well, I hear it kind of crunching. Yeah. And what's worse, you can see on the chain there, if it focuses, got a little bit of rust forming already on the chain down in the sprocket there. Got to get that rust off. Look, there's even a bug. How did a bug get on there? Little guy. Yeah, look at all the sand and garbage on the bike now. So, I mean, you're out in the rain. My eyeballs are just getting blasted with debris and whatnot. I mean, I had my glasses on for a while, but glasses get blurred up almost immediately, so it's super blurry, can hardly see. So I take the glasses off, and then my eyeballs are getting hammered with sand and rocks and junk, so that wasn't very fun. My eyes still hurt a little bit from that day. So, one thing I found out, these carbon wheels don't work at all in the rain. Oh my gosh. And I'm pretty light too, so I was kind of surprised that the braking was so terrible with these. You know, in the dry even, they're a little worse than like a steel or aluminum wheel. But man, it probably took 3-4 times as much braking force just to slow down. And then it took, you know, 3-4 seconds for anything to happen. They really had to just totally clamp down on the brakes to get it to stop. And you can see with the rain and the debris, it really rubbed the brake track pretty bad. So I'm not too happy about that, but that's what happens when you ride in the rain again. So we gotta get this all cleaned up. Gotta get the bike clean, chain degreased, do a little chain cleaning action. Get all that debris off. Get all the sand. When you are washing a bike, you want to use really light water pressure. There's all these obviously sealed bearings in here. And the seals will keep rainwater out and water from like just dripping down. But if we go up front here, you can see it there. But you don't want to use like a high pressure washer, because if you blast the water in there, it's going to get in there behind the seal, wash all your grease out, and then you don't have grease in your bearings. So obviously you don't want to do that. So you just want to use light water. Let the water pull all the sandy garbage off, and then you can have a clean bike again. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get this down off the stand, do a little wash, degrease the chain, get it re-lubed up, ready for another ride. Clean me, I want to ride again. so bike is washed, chain is super clean, got all degreased, ready to put some lube on it. I just want to point out that where you really want the lube is not on these outer surfaces, but the inner rollers there. Sorry, it keeps going out of focus. Let's get it focused again. There we go. The inner surfaces where the rolling action takes place, not on this outer part here. And of course the side plates, I want some lube on the side plates because there's relative motion between those guys. So I'm going to drop some lube on every single little pin, every single little joint, and then get it cleaned up, wipe off the excess, good to roll. What I'm using, by the way, is Finish Line Ceramic wet chain lube. I like it. Lasts a long time. I usually only put it on like once a month. Actually, I usually only degrease once every 3 months, but rode in the rain, got some rust on it, so I want to get all that cleaned up. Got a brand new chain basically now, except it's a little worn out. So there we go. We can put a little bit of lube in each joint, and then work it in, wipe it off, good to roll. Another thing I should mention, what you're going to want to do is clean your brake pads, because if you don't, you hear that scraping, that's sand in the pad. So you're going to want to clean those out, and it's pretty easy to do. All I gotta do is take off this little Allen bolt right here. Well, loosen the pads, loosen the brakes. Take this little guy, not all the way out, just back it out a little bit. And you can pop this guy out backwards. It comes out backwards like that. If you take a look at it, there's all this junk in here. You're gonna want to clean that out, all this sand, and keep it from scraping up your rims. So clean those out, pop them back in, good to go. Here's an example of the junk you want to get out of the pads. It builds up in these little grooves here. So you want to get that out. That's all road debris and abrasive material that you don't want scraping on your wheel. So you gotta take these off, clean all this junk out here, and put them back on clean. It's a nice clean surface to ride on. Forgot to mention the pedals. You want to clean those up too. So get all the junk off. And for those, I use a dry lube, and that's mostly because when you're walking around in your cleats, if you have like a wet lube, then any dust or sandy stuff will get attached to that and make like a sandpaper type, you know, it'll stick to it. So a dry lube, if it's dry, that sand's not going to stick, it's just going to fall right off. And this is also what Speedplay recommends, so not this one in particular, I think they have their own, but they recommend a dry lube for the same reasons. You don't want to pick up, you know, sandy particles and then have it wear it out faster. So all I gotta do is clean it off, put a little drop on all the wear components, on the wear areas, and you're good to go. And that just about does it for cleaning and lubing up the bike. Getting ready for our next ride. Alright. Thanks for watching. Enjoy your ride.